welcome to the program, Dr. Gavin Macgregor-Skinner, Senior Director of GBAC, a division of ISSA. Gavin, welcome.
Hi, Jeff. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
Oh, having a great day.
Good. Let's ruin it. Let's talk about a virus, monkeypox. It's in the news. Some say it's an important issue. Pay attention to it. Others say it's overblown. Tell us, Gavin, what we should understand about this virus, monkeypox.
Yeah, monkeypox, Jeff, still a rare disease, but what's really unusual, usually found in West or Central Africa, it's now spread across 70 countries. Remember, you and I started this conversation, Jeff, probably May of 2022, just a few months ago. It's now gone to 70 countries across 6 continents, and at the moment, it doesn't look like it's slowing down. So we really need to talk about what's the risk of monkeypox, Jeff.
Okay, so tell us about any studies you've seen recently, some information you can share.
Well, a couple of things, Jeff. A couple of new studies came out that suggest the virus may be mutating 12 times faster than expected. This was a study that came out last week. That was then put into a mathematical model which could lead to 60,000 new cases per day, and that was just in the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales. And that was by the end of 2022. There was another study that came out that we could possibly see 100,000 cases worldwide by August, and maybe up to 1 million cases by the end of September. So there's a big margin of error here. But again, we've got to go back and focus on, really for us in the cleaning industry, what is that risk? What we should be concerned about? What we should be doing?
Hey, Gavin, tell us about Black Swan, gray rhino. We've heard some terms.
Good question, Jeff. When it comes to workplace safety, I would like to really emphasize risk management is a more realistic term than, say, workplace safety. And it's really important that we look at risk. Again, we every day in the clean industry, we face a myriad of risks exists across all the things we do. And our ability to understand and take actions and keep safe, and then say, for example, as we clean for health, is to understand what those risks are. So we talk about black swans, gray rhinos, boiling frogs. I want to emphasize right now, monkeypox is a boiling frog risk assessment for me, and I think for many others as well. And what I mean by that is a black swan, for example, Jeff, is where you have a high consequence risk, but really with a low likelihood. Now, a gray rhino is where you have a high consequence and a high likelihood of that event happening. Boiling frogs. Let's talk about boiling frogs. Imagine you get a container of boiling water. You've got to heat it up. You've got to put the frog in. So this is a high consequence event because we know that the monkeypox can survive on bed linen in the environment, on towels. So it's going to cause a risk for frontline workers. But again, it has this creeping element of time. And so rather than we focus on what we could have done, how about we get out in front of this and say, and better understand and visualize these risks, their impacts, offer education and training and opportunities to the clean industry to better get ahead of what's being done to save, to make a healthy workplace.
Where do these terms come from? Black swan, gray rhino, boiling frog?
Oh, Jeff, for years we've been trying to teach risk management, and unfortunately, risk is a 4-letter word. You've got to use more 4-letter words when you do stuff. And so, trying to visualize, people, the way that adults learn, the way that people remember. So these are great fun terms that we use: black swan, a gray rhino, boiling frogs. There's other terms out there that actually we can say risk is the likelihood of something happening, and if that event happens, the consequence. And again, it helps people remember and understand whether there's acceptable risk or unacceptable risk, and whether I have to be educated and pay money to mitigate those risks.
So Gavin, we know there's a worker shortage. Organizations are struggling to find people to do the work. How does this play into that? What do we need to know?
Great question, Jeff. Again, I want to emphasize we do have a frontline worker shortage, but for all the frontline essential cleaning staff, employees throughout the country, you've got to enlist the full spectrum of what we can prevent and how we can curb the spread of an infectious disease. We want to understand what's happening locally. But more importantly, we want to understand that the US Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, has actually published a list of disinfectants that are effective against monkeypox virus, which is an envelope virus. It's called List Q. And everyone at ISSA, Jeff, wants to ensure that we play our role by lead by example. We encourage science-based measures that are evidence, again, as I said, evidence-based, science-based, to protect everyone, not just a select few, but especially everyone, especially now when we've got such a shortage of workers.
Great information. Thank you, guys.